No, I got to leave in.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Lead for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I am here with Antonio and Danny. And like I said, it's time to talk about Potomac. Yeah, episode 2 came out yesterday. The season just got started. I would say kind of a boring episode, in my opinion. That's just mine.
No, I agree.
But
It's your square.
Danny, okay, it is. Yeah, it is my square. Danny, how are you doing today?
I am good. How about you?
Okay, I had a long yesterday. Just really took over me. I don't know what happened, but
Yesterday drained you.
it drained me.
You gotta
Antonio,
fall in
how
the
are
bed
you?
when you say that.
Huh?
I'm doing good.
You gotta
I'm
follow.
doing good. You said what, Danny?
I said he gotta fall on the bed when he say that.
Listen, I just cleaned my bed up. It just was a mess in here, and I just was like, Lord have mercy. It's been a crazy
So
day.
you over there getting your life together?
I'm trying. I'm here. I look great, don't I? Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
Sensational.
so we'll apologize for starting so late. We pushed the show back by 15 minutes because real life work called and I have to do some things. So thank you, Danny and Antonio, for being able to be flexible, and thank you guys for still tuning in. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get into this episode, talk about Osu, Neka, all the drama, and let's get into it. So at the beginning of the episode, I was very excited because we got my girl Sheila. I wish Asia was here. Sheila was the first thing that I saw. I mean, we saw Ashley, but I was excited. I always like scenes with Sheila, just because you just never know. But she was very, she was all dressed up in her own way, and bright and happy. You don't think so, Antonio? No, okay.
In her own
But
way.
Ashley's getting ready for her housewarming. Now, last week we talked about her. We talked about her new home. Her beach-inspired home or whatever. And no water, like Mia says later. But Sheila also asks about Ashley and Michael in the Bahamas. We know that they went to the Bahamas. She said there was nothing sexual. Basically, everyone seems to be a bit confused by what is going on between her and Michael. Like, if they're getting divorced, why are they doing all these things, right?
Yeah.
So she also asks about the lawsuit that Michael has filed against Candiace, and this is the lawsuit where she made the comment last year about him having sex with a man. This is the lawsuit. She says that she doesn't know anything about it. She has nothing to do with it, but it's public record, and everything that we know is all that she knows. And I'm like, I don't believe that one bit. I don't. But of course, she wants to keep her hands clean. And then she is not inviting Candiace to the housewarming. Now Sheila says she's sending an invite, and she says she is not. She says that she is not enough stage in the world to invite Candiace. And I was kind of like I was. It's not that I was surprised. I just thought she would have invited her because I feel like Candiace always invites her to her stuff, regardless. I mean, unless I'm wrong, even when she's at odds with her, she still invites her to her stuff. But
I thought Ashley would have invited her because Ashley like mess. So if it's potentially mess, I felt like, she would have invited her, but guess not.
I actually wasn't shocked she didn't invite her this time because of the whole lawsuit thing. I figured that was, I just figured that she probably wouldn't want to argue about that taking over the whole, because it would have happened.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
only if she would have brought it up. That's it. I mean,
And Candiace probably would have accepted the invite anyway.
Well, because she was in LA or somewhere like that anyway, they said. So.
And she told her, "Don't text me again." So I mean, Ashley's respecting that.
I guess you're right. Any other thoughts on this scene? It's kind of small scene. Good to see Sheila. Nothing really going on right there.
Yeah. I just want to say, I said it in the group chat yesterday, Sheila's wig has been an OG cast member since season 1, so I want to give that wig the respect that it deserves. I hope it gets a pay raise.
It won't.
But that's it.
Antonio, you got anything, Antonio?
She needs to stop planning stuff on weekends where Sheila got to work. And that's all I got.
True. Very true. Okay. The next scene was with Karen and Mia. So last season, Karen and Mia were okay up until really the finale when Mia came to Karen about the things that she heard and whatever. town and blah blah blah. That's literally how it ended. So they didn't end on good terms. Mia also had issues with Karen last year because she felt like Karen was like not taking up for her or not defending her in a way when it came to the Wendy situation and stuff like that. So they had that back and forth. But in this scene, Karen meets her out. It looked like at the dock on the bridge or somewhere they was. I don't know where they were. On a windy day, and she just is like, Mia goes for a hug, and Karen's like, "I'm gonna give you a nice handshake because we not there yet. I'm not fake. I'm not phony." And they kind of talk about how they got to where they are, which is what I just mentioned. Based off last year, the lies. Mia says that it wasn't a lie, and she definitely heard that rumor before. Well, and Karen is like, well, but it wasn't factual. And you really shouldn't be doing that. You're going against girl code. Ray was upset. It hurt me. All these things as far as the rumor of her possibly messing with other men or giving blowjobs or whatever it was in the bathroom. What was the restaurant that they couldn't say? Is that what it was?
In the bathroom.
Yes, in the bathroom. But Karen says that she's gonna move. They're gonna move forward. Obviously baby steps. And so she asks her how are her and Gordon. And she talks about with the company and him losing his share and everything within the company. They also bring up the comment that Giselle made at the reunion about the embezzlement, where Mia kind of defends Giselle by saying that basically she also felt like maybe it was embezzlement or whatever. Something. I'm like, okay, girl. So at this rate, it just looks like Mia is just never gonna ever try to come at Giselle in any kind of way. I don't know why, but she's had a plethora of things that she could probably fire back at Giselle for. It's including the whole cancer thing that wasn't cancer, but she refuses to give her a lot of passes. So that's not going to happen. But Mia just talks about how she has changed a lot. She doesn't drink. And one of the reasons why she threw the drink last year is because she was drinking, not only drinking, but drinking while taking medication. That's what she says. And Karen is like, oh, well, I'm glad you came forth about that because that's the thing, but maybe you should let Wendy know and talk to her about that and let her know that you were drinking and taking pills. So, Antonio, any thoughts on this scene?
I love the good kind of subtle shade from Karen. Like, I'm not gonna hug you because we're not there, but I will shake your hand since this is a reintroduction. I love that throughout the entire episode. I agree though. Karen was trying to like kind of pick a bone or carry a bone or put a bug in Mia's ear in regards to the comment that Giselle made about the embezzlement, but Mia completely flipped the script and just, was like, oh, well, I had those same questions. So that was like, okay, so that kind of was a fail. But I think the conversation was progressive, and hopefully Mia takes heed to it, which I don't think she will. Mia is a big liar, and she will continue to lie and make up things as she goes, even with this whole no drinking thing, but you're actually drinking. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that whole I'm not drinking, but I'm drinking wine. Girl, liquor is liquor. We have said this before. Wine will get you more messed up. Wine gets me more messed up than actual, hard liquor. But honestly, the only thing my favorite part of this scene is what Antonio mentioned when she went to hug Karen and it's like not there yet. Other than that, nothing in this. I feel like I keep watching the same song and dance that, Mia does something, they fall out, then she talks to her again, and now we're gonna, start from scratch again all over again. Like it's like a merry-go-round at this point. So I just, hope Karen don't actually trust her this time, because she's probably gonna cross her again within the next episode or two.
She is.
Well, I mean, we know that there was a scene that happens later where she's like, what did she say? They had it was in the trailer.
Something about the tricks, and
yeah,
say, you are the trick.
Yes. So they're gonna get back there. So we know that it's based off that. You are the trick.
Not but I'm on a bottle of Riesling.
Okay.
There's no lemonade in here.
Lemonade. Mike's hard lemonade.
Just lemonade, sugar free.
Bobbing like a bob of head. I'm weak. Okay, so the next scene was with Candiace and Drew. Candiace and Nye, my friend Nye. I put Drew because of the Drew shade, but the scene was actually Nye coming to her, talking to her about her, being on the previous record label, how it's time to elevate, and they were talking about the tour. And so Nye suggests that Drew is a part of her tour or does another show with her. And she basically says no. And from what I got from it, because I mean, I don't think it was shade. I don't think it was like intentional shade. She was just like, I've outsold this, I've done this, so why do I need Drew, who is, I guess, Chicago's representation, to be a part of my show? But if you saw online, I think Drew came back and was like, now why am I in it? And I'm like, well, I mean, you in it because the person that writes both of y'all music suggests that y'all work together. I don't know. But basically that's pretty much all that happens in that scene. Y'all have any thoughts on that? Or did y'all feel like it was like really like shady that she said that? Or how do y'all feel about Candiace basically saying like, I'm bigger than that now, I don't need her, I don't really want her on my side?
I saw a comment on Twitter that I had shared in the group chat yesterday that, that Candiace seems to be trying to get out of the housewives. Most of the housewives, when they try to become musicians or singers, they still stay within that realm. And I saw a tweet that says she's trying to get out of that realm. So having Drew there would kind of still keep her in that. So I kind of agree with that. I know that's not what she said, but I feel like that's where she was trying to go with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, plus all Drew did was 2 oohs and ahs while on stage with her. So why would I have her come?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I agree. If it's already sold out, why would I pay you to now come on? Like, it's not serving me a purpose. Like, I could see if Drew is going to help put butts in the seats, then yes, okay, bring her on, so on and so forth. If it's already sold out or whatever, or if it's doing well already, then there's no need for that.
Your thing is glitching really bad. I can hear you a little bit. I cannot see you.
It freezes.
You can?
It's freezing up a bit.
Doing this.
Okay. Let me go out and I'm going to come back.
Okay. You come back.
All right.
But I feel like, so to my thoughts, so he comes back, I'll say that, I don't know. I think she just, for one, it's Drew. And I think maybe, like you said, she kind of wants to get away from that. But also, I think she is probably looking for someone that could elevate the show. And I don't think Drew is at that point yet. Like, Drew is just starting her career. And, if anything, it benefits Drew more than it benefits Candiace.
That's what I'm about to say. She's not going to get nobody to say, let me go see Candiace because she got Drew opening. Ain't nobody coming for that.
Yeah, I agree. But I didn't think it was like just the worst shade. Like to be
but
like,
it could have been. It came across that way. Like it came across that way. Like there's no way around it. Her reaction, like her face, and the way it came across it. Like we gotta just. But it's Housewives.
Nye says Candiace was wrong. She can help give other Black women a platform. It's not all about selling seats. She already worked for her.
She gave her a platform on her own.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Drew will have to come to her own stardom. At this point,
what Drew gonna open with over and over?
That damn song that she sang at the reunion. Antonio, you back? We can see you now. What were you? Do you want to say what you were saying again?
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, a lot better.
Clear. We can hear you, and it's great.
Okay, good. Sorry, y'all. So no, what I was saying was, if I don't need you to, to help me with getting butts in the seats or anything like that, then no, I don't feel like I need to pay you to bring you on tour. And I guess someone made a comment about a platform. Drew has her own platform. Drew was a celebrity before Candiace was, so Drew should be good and shouldn't need Candiace's platform, and Candiace shouldn't feel obligated to be a platform to someone else. Like I did what I've done my favor, and that's it, and move on.
Yeah. And the common denominator is that Nye works with both of them, Mm-hmm. So I guess that was just a suggestion. But I will say I don't have to see Drew with Candiace.
I just don't got to see Drew, period.
I ain't got to really see Drew, period, to be honest. Unless she comes with something that's like, okay, now musically, I think she could enjoy it for herself. But personally, I don't have to see Drew.
We see each other.
But shout out to Nye. Like, Nye is a good friend of mine. He's a great songwriter. and he's written for now Drew, Candiace, and Tamar. He does writing with Tamar too, so he's doing the damn thing. But
and he's very nice.
Yes,
He is really
very
nice.
good friend, very good brother of mine. Okay, so the next scene was actually our, the season's fave. I don't know if TKC here, but Robyn. So Robyn goes back to Juan, reports back to her boss about the conversation that was had with the girls. And I'm just gonna say that Robyn is just, I don't know. The conversation that we talked about it last week, it was a great conversation. We actually, a lot of us gave kudos to Charisse because she probably had the best advice and made a lot of sense in what she was saying. And it was less about her and more about trying to help Robyn, right? But in this scene, Robyn went back to Juan, telling him everything that they said, which I thought was a big mistake at number one, because you ain't got to be mad at the man, but it was also a girl chat. So I think it's great to have a relationship with your husband, your spouse like that. But these women were trying to help you. They were more so concerned about your mental health and how you were feeling. You told them that you were broken. So that lets us know as a viewer that there was something there. Now, whether she masking or not, in this conversation, he basically, she talks about it. He's just like, he doesn't care, which we already know he don't care. I mean, I'm surprised he's doing these scenes because I think he has no choice now at the state of her job. But they talk about, he just basically is like, what do they want you to do? Get mad? Okay, get mad, Robyn. Get mad, Robyn. And we've seen Robyn get really mad before. She's picked up an umbrella before and tried to choke somebody. So we know that she gets mad and very angry and things like that. So she can get mad, but she won't get mad at Juan for some reason. She does ask him about how is he doing, which is interesting because we never really see him ask her how is she doing, but she asks him about how he's doing because of the lawsuit. He lost his job and things like that. So, what were y'all thoughts just seeing this? Because I feel like she could have went to him and said it and kind of acknowledged that there is some truth in how she should approach him, but she just went back saying well, they said this, and I think they just sound crazy. When really they were trying to help her out. And I feel like going forward, she's put herself in a situation to where if something were to happen, they're not going to want to help her because she basically went back to the problem and gave the problem another pass. Danny.
Juan showed more emotion in this scene towards losing his job than he did about embarrassing and hurting Robyn. It's like all he really cared about in this. The only time you saw any kind of emotion from Juan was when he was talking about losing his job to that lawsuit. Other than that, he didn't show no emotion. He was talking like a robot, like him and Robyn Howard rehearsed what he should be saying. So, and I think, like Cassie says, Robyn don't care, so I just don't give a damn either. I'm not gonna be angry for her.
That's true.
It's just so I get that we shouldn't care, and she says she don't care, but it's difficult to see her say that when she literally does that to other people. If she seems to care about everybody else's issues and problems and the things they go through, but when it's her, she just doesn't care and she wants everybody to forget about it. But you're not doing the same for everybody else. I don't know. I mean, that's what they do. But Robyn is, she had a lot to say about Wendy and the possibilities of her husband cheating
and her coach.
Right. And even though whatever it was, she had a lot to say. She was, I fit my pussy every night. So it was like you can't do what you've done, and then now that there's things about you, which it's been things forever about Juan. You want to be like, I don't care, so y'all shouldn't care. No, we're gonna care. We're gonna talk about it.
When I say I don't care too, I mean I don't care also in the sense of I don't have no sympathy for her. If she want to keep being a dummy, and I don't want to hear about your words, your joy is stolen because you're allowing it to. So keep being sad. That's all.
I also don't believe Robyn when she says that she doesn't care. Clearly, she does care.
Yeah, she
now, Juan, on the other hand, he don't. I legit do not think he cares at all about how he made her look or what he did. I feel like he'll go to the nail salon again tomorrow. He probably at the laundromat right now with his quarters and with that lady. So I definitely believe he'll do it again. But am I wrong? Didn't they say last episode or that people think he got fired because of the whole lawsuit, but he said it was because the team wasn't winning enough games? But then last night they said, oh, it was because of the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, y'all got to get y'all story straight and stick to it, Juan and Robyn. But yeah, they Juan don't care, and I agree with Danny. He showed he cared about that job, and you could tell in his voice and when he talked about it, and when he talked about those players that he really cared about their position in that job. The position that he's putting Robyn in and what he's making her look like, he does not care about that at all. 100%.
I thought he was gonna cry when he talked about it.
I did too. He has been 100% authentic in this entire thing. He don't care about Robyn. He gonna focus on raising his kids, not Robyn.
Okay. I mean, that's really all that happened this scene. I saw a comment where someone said they feel like this scene was more so for him to talk about his sexual assault lawsuit, less about the girls. I saw a comment. I don't like Robyn's confessional look with those feather shoulders. That is not cute. Not cute. I don't know where Robyn gets her pieces from, but I don't know.
You know, but I did like her hair and makeup there. It was the first time I liked her hair and makeup in a while. Her hair and makeup looked nice, but it ruined. Like, I can never see her with a complete look. There's always something I don't like. This time
I'm enjoying seeing Robyn film and less. I feel like this season, as she's filming, I don't know if it's the long hair, but I'm enjoying that for her. You know, I think she give a short hair wrist personally.
Yeah, I agree. I like the buzz down.
I'm sick of the bobs. I need some hair, and I think that
was more feminine.
Ric Flair, yes, Chase, the Ric Flair. I'm sick of the Ric Flair hair. The whole thing is the hair, the shoulders. I'm just sick of that look, that aesthetic. So then we meet Neka, and Neka is the new housewife. She comes in, you know, with generational wealth. She just recently got married. I don't know her age, but I'm sure she's mid-30s. I think she's wrong. She has no kids, and we see them in as they're getting their new home built. Nothing really happened in the scene, but what are y'all like initial thoughts on Neka?
For me, Neka, you know, her initial thoughts is kind of quintessential housewife. She's given, you know, that she's a little pretentious, that she's a little bit uppity, that she's educated, that she's rich. So honestly, as of right now, I don't mind Neka. I like how she came into me. She brought some of that fabulosity and some of that glam
fabulosity.
And glam to Potomac that maybe we've kind of, you know, been missing. What we thought maybe Mia was going to bring, and it ended up being a flop. Neka kind of came in and, you know, kind of done it the right way. So I'm looking forward to learning more about her.
Mm-hmm. Danny?
I think she's a beautiful lady. She's very animated, and I don't mind her pretentiousness or you know, flashiness right now. I accept it from Heather Dubrow and all these other ladies, so I can definitely accept it from a Black woman. So I'm here. I'm fine with it for now. Like, she's not annoying. You know, she's not annoying me or nothing like that. Brag, honey, brag. Everybody else does it without the stuff to back it up. So.
Cassie said, there's a comment here. Cassie said, but they're gonna give her a pass, but gave Wendy grief about the same when she started. Do you think it was about her being pretentious, or just about her the mention of those degrees? Is what y'all think?
I just got it. It was about the degrees, and maybe it was also how, I guess, with a couple of them, and specifically Ashley, from what I remember, it was kind of how Wendy talked, you know, down
on people. I think it was more so
call me Dr.
Like she just felt like she was better.
Yeah, because this lady is a lawyer, but she's not, you know, telling them to refer to her Neka Esquire.
Yeah,
so.
Not yet. We still got time. We're gonna see.
That's true.
We don't know. But she's cool. You know, I'm willing to give her a chance. She's a pretty girl. I have no issues with Neka in that space. But that's all we have in this scene right here. We're gonna talk about Neka later as well. So then we get, speaking of, you know, Wendy. Wendy is meeting with a producer because she has went from her show to Candles to what was the last the book to now she wants a talk show. I'm like, okay, Wendy. Every season it's gonna be something. Which hey, I'm here. I'm all here for it. I'm curious to see how it goes. And then what I do like is that it's not just a YouTube show or a show about the show. She's trying to do something different than what other housewives would do, because usually you get like the heavenlies and to speak on it and stuff like that. It's typically about the show. So we'll see. I don't know about it, but she doesn't know what a production assistant is. It's like she didn't know what a
but she had one.
But
she said, I got a PA. Then she says,
a good one.
PA. Then she said, what is a PA?
Wendy needed to do a little research. She's a smart woman, but at the same time, she lacks knowledge in some things.
I think anytime she has a business now, I do think it's just for a storyline to talk about now, like, because it just seems so far left.
She's not beating those allegations of she's all over the place. I say that every she's literally living in all. And hey, there's nothing wrong with covering. I get that she wants to be a multifaceted mogul and all these things, but I just want something to just really take off and do well before something else starts. I think that's not too much to ask for. I don't know, but then again, I didn't buy her candles either, so let me shut up, because I love Wendy, but I ain't bought no candles. I ain't bought the book. I don't know. I probably won't be watching the talk show. We'll see. But basically, she struggles with names. She's looking for Wendy's wisdom, wine with Dr. Wendy, and I'm just like, this is not a Wendy. Go back to the drawing board on all this. She's struggling also with budget. She doesn't really know or have a budget at this moment. Typical Wendy in a meeting.
But they already over.
Exactly. So, any thoughts on Wendy's upcoming talk show? Her lack of knowledge of being a PA, the names, the studio space. She did. I guess that was like the studio space that she wanted, but then she heard a lawnmower and she was like, "Oh, we need something that sounds good," which makes sense. I mean, makes sense, because if you could hear stuff over here, I wouldn't want to film right here either. So, any thoughts on that scene, Danny?
In the words of Aretha, I'm gonna pass on that one.
I think, you know what, when it first popped up, I didn't know what was going on. So she was saying she wanted to do a talk show. At first I was like, okay, not another business venture, Wendy. But then I'm like, a talk show does make more sense and to be in alignment with what she was doing initially, like with political commentating and stuff like that. The only thing it is now is, I don't understand, like, I get it that you want it to be nice and you don't want it to look low budget or be low budget or anything like that. But I don't understand, spending all this money on a space. And I know you got somewhere in your house, because looks like you got a pretty large house where you can set up and you can film. That's A. And B, I don't know if Wendy doesn't, to me, have that type of very catchy personality. I think it works for somebody like Candy, who doesn't have a big personality either, but Candy is talking about like housewives. When she goes on her show, most of the time she's talking about housewives. She has people on there with her, etc. So that helps her out a lot. I don't. Wendy says she'd be maybe more so talking about topics that they don't necessarily talk about in a political realm and stuff like that. I just don't know how that's gonna be beneficial. I applaud her for trying to kind of do something a little bit different than what we see from other, YouTubers and stuff like that, or popular ones that I myself know of. But I just don't know if it's gonna work for her. But
I'd
but
rather
go ahead, do your thing with Wendy.
I actually would have rather her talk show be about politics and maybe, trying to reach people who normally don't listen or don't pay attention to politics. That's more in her realm, and I think I'd rather hear her do that than talk about cooking or something like that. Because
definitely,
I will say this business venture idea, whatever, is closer to her brand than the others. Yeah. So, I do agree with you, Tony. I don't see her as a talk show host. I don't really honestly like to hear Wendy speak too long, because it's kind of monotone in the sense of how she speaks. So having a talk show, but then again, what she's talking about, maybe she doesn't need that kind of personality that we're thinking of. She could. It sounds like if she's gonna be giving wisdom and drinking wine, maybe it'll be okay for the tone that she has. I don't know. We already got wind down with Tasha K, so just please don't be doing what she's doing out there, Wendy.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Well, Wendy could pay her lawsuit, I'm sure, if she can get one.
Hopefully.
Allegedly.
So then we get to an aerobics class with Karen, Mia, Ashley, and Giselle. Just the 4, right? Okay. Yeah, I wonder why. I'm surprised Sharice wasn't there.
Karen don't F with her.
That's true. I guess that is true, and she planned it. Very true. Well, Candiace wasn't there either, and neither was Wendy. So that's interesting as well. But basically, we find out that Ashley has gotten a little boob job. Demi and Demi God or Demi Morgan. What was the thing?
I think it's Demi and Diamond. I think
Demi and Dummy. Something like Dummy and Diamond.
Dumber.
I don't know what them things was called, but she got some new boobs. Okay.
Trailer trash.
Happy for her, and she got the little top on. And so Karen, is just kind of talking about her mom's health and just her health. And she is kind of going down this rabbit hole. I thought she's finna say, I have cancer or something. I'm not gonna lie, I was just like,
oh my God.
And she literally tells them to calm down as she's about to choke up. But she says she has 5% of calcium in her arteries.
Karen said, I want to get it out.
Uh-huh.
Karen said, I want to get it out.
She wanted, right. She says that. So of course, the ladies look at her like, okay, Giselle, they're not really taking it serious because honestly, not saying it's not serious. She tells them it's not that serious, but she does say it's a bit of a concern. And so she kind of talks about her 2020, I guess, birthday coming up soon, the 60th birthday, but that's gonna be later announced. Giselle asks how Mia and Karen are, and Karen tells them that they had a conversation, that they're okay. If they're not gonna hug it out. They're gonna work towards a hug, and that's gonna happen. And Giselle basically says, well, if you talk to her about that, and your tone was, you shouldn't be spreading rumors and spreading things like that. She tells her, well, then maybe you should give Robyn an apology for the whole Georgetown woman that looks like her. And Robyn, and Karen is just like, no. I'm not giving her an apology. Maybe she can give me one. I possibly could give her one, but I don't owe her an apology. And I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Karen, in that case, you do owe her an apology, because the same way you came at Mia about it not being facts. I mean, you said it's a rumor, right? It's the same thing that she did, but of course she don't like Robyn, so it's not gonna happen. And so then Mia asks Ashley about the lawsuit with Michael and Candiace. And Ashley just acts like she doesn't know anything about it. She knows nothing more than what we see online. And she mentions that Candiace told her not to speak to her. So she goes over this text message where she, I guess after the reunion, and she says Candiace said don't speak to her. She talks about Neka, her new friend. It's going to be coming to her housewarming event. And then they talk about Giselle's boo. So I ask you, any thoughts on this scene? It's a lot that happened in discussion, but nothing more than Karen's health scare, Mia and Karen's relationship, Giselle asking for Karen to apologize to Robyn. Do y'all think she should? Yeah, I think she was right by asking that. And then Ashley and the lawsuit for Candiace. Danny.
I think they both could stand to apologize to each other. Both of them have a track record of going after each other so much you kind of lose track over who started what between them two. So I'm sure they both owe each other an apology. But again, it's not going to last. So why bother? Let's just skip the apology and just be cordial to each other. Yeah.
I agree. I don't think that they should apologize, because they're not going to. As soon as they get the opportunity to, they're going to go after each other again. We've seen that time and time again, season over season. They don't even know who started what or anything like that. So I think just call it a wash and just be like, okay, like I don't think they need to be best friends, or they'll never be friends, because from what I can remember, they've never really been tight or really good friends, even on the show, or even tried to pretend to be. I think they've been okay. So I think as long as they're in an okay situation, they can speak to each other. That's all I really need from Karen and Robyn. But I'm glad that Giselle did bring it up to kind of, bring some conversation around it. But I don't think either of them would give each other an apology, and if they did, I don't think either of them would hold it up or even mean it. So it doesn't even matter. Ashley, she definitely knows everything about that lawsuit, but of course, as you stated earlier, she's not going to mention anything about it at all. So that's that.
I think she just wants to keep her hands clean of Candiace. She always want to like seem like she's not involved, especially when it comes to Candiace. She want to act like she's not really like trying to do anything to hurt her, but really, I'm sure she's behind the scenes. She knows everything. When that man does come up into the house for 30 minutes or go upstairs, I'm sure they're having a conversation about the lawsuit because Michael is also very obsessed with Candiace. Does not like her. So.
But it's crazy to me that all of them are on this show throwing rumors left and right. Mm-hmm. But Candiace making this comment about Michael and the man is what hurt his business and merits a lawsuit. But Ashley has said a lot of worse stuff about people. Because to me, whether it's with the man or woman, an affair, accusing someone of an affair and cheating is no different to me, whether it's with a man or a woman. That's just me. I know a lot of people will think otherwise, but yeah, Ashley's done worse. So for her to make it seem like Candiace or for Michael to be upset, this ain't the first time Michael heard him messing with a man.
Listen, Michael was accused not only of an affair, but like sexual harassment, like in earlier seasons. So
he was accused with Juan. I'm pretty sure this didn't hurt his business.
Like, come on,
the rumor was that he had sexual relations with a man. Okay, we accused him of messing with Juan for years now. So if that didn't break his brand, I'm sure whoever this mystery man didn't break it either.
I guess because it was a fact that he said he wanted he said what he wanted to do to Juan, and people heard it. And then even with the whole patting the man or grabbing the man's butt and all of that, if potential sexual harassment charge or complaint or whatever didn't hurt your business, I'm sure this didn't as well. Hell, it might have made your business go up, especially in the DMV area.
And like he's had so many allegations. It's like if the sexual harassment thing, like you mentioned, didn't hurt his brand, you good, boo.
Yeah.
You're also a white man in America, so you're gonna get away with a lot more anyway. Mm-hmm. You got to damn near kill somebody to hurt that brand. Let's just be clear. Yeah. And Ashley is adjacent to you as well. So yeah. Any thoughts on they talking about Giselle Boo and stuff? Man, I don't want to talk about Boo. Their relationship is boring to me. We only seen them one time.
I still don't believe the relationship. So it's no.
That seat behind her gonna be empty at the reunion. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he won't be there. I don't think
so. It's like her bed, the West Wing, probably empty right now too. So yeah.
All right. So then we get to Ashley's housewarming. Basically all the ladies show up. They're wearing like these soft tones, very Easter egg hunt colors. But they all look good. Everybody looks good. Charisse and Karen are matching in the same outfit but different colors, and everybody thought that was so comical. Giselle talks about Michael having to give notice of when he comes over. And she brings up the trip to the Bahamas, which we thought, or I guess she claimed she would assume that the uncle would have known. Mm-hmm. Well, the uncle didn't know, and he does not like Michael. So he was very taken back, and I think Ashley called it, but like Giselle was just doing her typical work, being very messy, to be honest. Because I'm glad it wasn't a big deal, but Ashley could have had a right to be upset if that's the case, because Giselle would have known if he would have known. But Ashley claims that she called or FaceTimed him or something like that, and he didn't answer or something like that. So he should have known.
No, they was on the uncle. I think they were on FaceTime, but because he was like, "I spoke to you," and she was like, "Oh, Michael had gone to take the kids somewhere."
Oh, that's okay. I misunderstood what she was trying to. I thought she was saying she called him and he didn't pick up.
She tried to clean it up really quickly, like, "Oh, I kind of forgot." And when you called, Michael had went to take the kids, like then it's into the slide. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, they get through that. Ashley gives a tour of the house, and Wendy arrives during the tour. The house, the house looks cool. It's the house. I'm not, gonna come. I live in an apartment. However, I don't. Do you think it was housewarming ready? Was it warm in there to be?
I think for Ashley, it was house housewarming ready. Like I think at this point she's done decorating. Like there's nothing else that's going in there. The pictures that she had propped up on some of the little ledges, I don't even think she planned on hanging them up. She's gonna leave them right there on the ledges. I think that's just where Ashley is at with it. She feel like, you know, this was given like a beachside chalet or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think it was. I still don't see $2 million.
Somebody, I think Brooks said that I think DMV or Maryland is like, it's basically like somebody said last week that
she's in Virginia.
Very expensive. She's in Virginia and it's very expensive there.
Yeah, we seen Robyn houses in Virginia and it's, you know, and hers that it looks about the same. Ashley house didn't look extremely huge. Candiace house is in wherever it is, and it's not in Potomac, but we know it didn't cost over $2 million from you know what kind of came out. So I just don't get $2 million. I want to know her address so I can look it up
with
on
this
Zillow
whole
myself.
beachside thing to cover up the fact that she can't style the house. Because I don't know, I don't get beach house. I mean, I get Airbnb, like, you know, it looks like an Airbnb. Like very cute, but her house ain't kid safe to dear God.
It looks like a timeshare.
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest, when you asked was the housewarming ready, I'm gonna say no, and my reason for saying no is because Giselle thought it was decorated beautifully. So that's all the indication you need to know that it's not housewarming ready. If Giselle think it look good, it's tacky. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think. Was the house warm enough to be? Was the house warming ready? Let us know.
Maybe she thought that was gonna bring her some gift cards and stuff like that, and she could finish the rest.
I think she called Aaron's furniture rental and said, "Y'all can put stuff up on this wall and stuff."
It was definitely giving home goods.
Okay, so when Wendy arrives, she speaks to only Ashley, Karen, and Sharice. And I was just like, okay, I don't mind this Wendy, but stick to it. Like, don't fold later in the season. Stick to it until the issue is gone. So, and Wendy looked good. I liked her outfit.
I did too.
Wendy didn't really came into her little fashion bag. I don't know what she had on, but she looked very cute.
She had on Givenchy boots, and
is that what it was? Tell me, honey. I don't know. Antonio, you would know.
Yeah, she had on the little shark boots. Hopefully they are authentic. But she had them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she came in and she didn't speak, and it's the way that she did it. Like, I don't know if the women were expecting her to speak. Giselle kind of moved to the side.
So was staring her down the whole time.
She was staring her down, and I feel like Mia thought she was going to get spoken to. I think she probably was the most shocked that she didn't get
I think Giselle did too. I think Giselle thought she was going to, because Giselle had already prepared herself to be shady, I think. So that's why she kind of moved to the side, and I felt like she thought Wendy was still going to go down the line and she was going to be able to embarrass Wendy like she did last year, and she didn't get that opportunity.
She didn't, and she got her, so kudos to her. But who else arrives is Miss Sesame Street, Miss Deborah. Deborah arrives, and I'm not going to lie, I cackled at Wendy's face when she saw her. She was like, but I mean, when you had to know she was going to be there, it's one of her good best friends. She part of the pretty young thing club or something like that.
Yeah,
call themselves
the Pretty Young Things.
That's a lie. That is a lie, child. But she's there. Wendy's face was hilarious, and Neka arrives. And when Neka arrives, everybody is very warm to her. She was cute as well. They were all nice to her, and she kind of just talks about, you know, she just moved there less than a year ago. Recently got married, she hasn't had kids. She's trying. I'm like, please don't get pregnant. I mean, if you get pregnant, great, that's a blessing. But please don't come on this show and get pregnant in your first season. You know, me personally, if you're watching this show, you know I do not like pregnant housewives. I don't like it. I say just take the season off because it really bothers me. I hate it. So please, Neka, if you're gonna be a part of the show, just wait at least another season. Give us a season 2, and then, you know, maybe get pregnant. We gotta know who you are. We gotta learn who you are, girl. And being pregnant, we ain't gonna know. But other than that, I mean, any thoughts on this scene? In terms of, we kind of talked a bit about Wendy arriving and Giselle, you know, kind of preparing for her shade. Neka at this moment, Anything here? Nothing really in this scene.
I just want to say that I feel like Charisse watched the lean last season because she has looked really nice both times. The few times we've seen her, she's looked really nice. These times she hasn't looked sweaty. She hasn't like she just finished jogging. Like I'm pleased with her.
Robo said we forgot about Nneka scene. You talking about the scene with her in the house?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it.
What's that to talk about? I mean, their house was.
The house ain't even done.
House ain't done. I mean, she has a great husband.
When I see Chateau Charest, I will talk about Chateau Charest.
we already talked about it, Robo. We talked about it earlier in the episode. It wasn't really nothing really to talk about, to be honest. Nneka is still new. You know, with new girls, I just kind of, I say I like them or I don't like them, and then we just kind of see how it goes. We'll just see. I have no, but the fact that she's Ashley's friend, I'm worried. I'm really worried, to be honest. I think she is too, because we'll talk about it. So yes, in this next scene here, which is the last scene, Wendy and Ashley have a conversation. And, Wendy is just praising Ashley and talking about how she really likes her and has grown to like her, especially after last season, because she felt like she was one of the only people that defended her in the whole situation. Because, Ashley did say, she did kind of express that it was not okay for Mia to be throwing drinks and how that whole situation happened. Or in some way she did. But she's a little apprehensive because, mainly because of her having Deborah there and Deborah being the one that said that the Happy Eddie comment, and that she just has some, some cautions about Ashley or whatever. And so Ashley was like, well, she doesn't know why she really would have that concern because they've never really hung out like that one-on-one. She says she's never invited her to anything with the kids, and Wendy says she has. So she expresses that. And then from that, we hear Ashley basically tell Wendy about this rumor from Neka that her family is cursed. It's called Osu or something like that. I don't really know, but basically the way she explained it, Antonio, can you explain how she explained it? Because I was trying to get dressed.
She says, well, they're supposed to be, I guess, Emu or Ibu or something like that is their tribe, but she's saying that they are Osu, which means that their family has been cursed from many, many years ago, and people don't like to associate with them and don't really like to be around them for this whole curse and ritual situation that occurred years ago. And that's Wendy's family.
But in the confessional, they even point out that Ashley made it seem like it was something that Neka was saying something negative. And so what I got from that was that I don't think it was, because even when this scene first came out, Neka replied on Twitter. She was like, "Really, Ashley?" As if the way she told her it wasn't to be messy or in a bad way.
Neka, they were talking about the blog.
Yes,
that came out about Wendy.
Correct.
And Ashley brought it up.
Ashley brought it up, and Neka kind of expounded on.
Yes,
but Ashley made it seem like Neka brought it up.
Yeah,
she did. She made it seem like she brought it up, and she was just talking about her family. And I just really hate that Wendy, fell for that, because it just proves that you can't trust her, Wendy. I don't know why. I don't see her being cordial with her. I like that she can be cordial with her because we know that she has an issue with Candiace. So it does show that she's not like so biased. I do like that for her, but Ashley just can't be trusted. I don't think Ash is a friend to anybody. She's just messy. And she's just messy, just messy. So,
Ashley don't mind getting her hands dirty to match her little dirty feet. Now, I will say this. I think that Ashley,
a little dirty feet.
I think that Ashley was kind of on the right path, because based on the clips, and there could be more, so I could be wrong, but it seems like there is some type of Neka does have some type of a issue or something like that with Wendy. So I don't know if something else is going to transpire and cause that to come up, or if this is going to stem from that. But yeah.
I agree, Anthony, but I think what's going to happen is that Wendy, instead of trying to get her facts straight first, is probably going to say something negative to Neka, and that's going to start the whole thing.
I was thinking that, but then I was like, okay. Because when Wendy came back to the table, she seemed to be still okay. Like she wasn't really bothered, I guess, by it. So
it's just crazy to me that while Wendy's having this heart-to-heart with Ashley about not stabbing me in the back. I can't fully trust you. That while she's telling her this story about Nneka, she's already lying to Wendy. Like, girl, in the midst of her telling her you can trust me, she's lying to you.
That girl is so used to being messy. It's just happens so naturally for her, even when it's not supposed to be happening. So,
this comment from Rubos, and I think this. I don't know how this gonna go. I'm interested to see how it go. I'm not in any tribe, anything like that. I don't really know, but I think that people could take this the wrong way. It's no different to me. It's how Greeks and stuff get. I think this could be taken in the same way, depending on if these people come up and speak about it and stuff like that. It just sounds really, I don't want to say dark yet, but it sounds like she says, disturbing. Like, okay.
It seems like it's going to get a little bit more disturbing as well.
I agree, which is very weird for this franchise, but my God, today we'll see. But it looks like Wendy has already taken upon herself to believe it and take it for whatever's Ashley's presented at this moment. And it looks like she's, like you said, Danny said, she's going to say something to her or make it a thing. We do know that they are at odds more this season, Nneka and Wendy. And so that just further divides the group. I mean, you got Candiace, Wendy, and Karen. You got all the other girls over there.
And I also feel like Ashley was very manipulative in doing this, simply because I think it's believable for Wendy. Wendy probably found it very believable that, Ashley brought up a subject from a blog years ago that is a subject that Neka could actually talk about and add credibility to. So there was a lot of, puppet master going on in that scene. Like, Ashley knew what she was doing, because it's very easy for Wendy to believe, oh yeah, this girl brought this up because, she's coming for me, the only other Nigerian on the show.
And I wonder, was this a situation where, in the past what we've seen with Housewives, where they'll just kind of be like, oh, kind of you usher this person in as your friend, or was it someone that, because to me, I don't necessarily see Ashley and Neka, Ashley and Neka being like good friends or kind of hanging together. I just don't see that. So I wonder if it was one of those situations where it was like Ashley's just the one that's ushering her in or whatever. So
it has to be, because I don't see her hanging with her. I don't see her hanging with her. Yeah. We've seen Ashley's friends, and they ain't part of any. I was surprised to see that they were black, to be honest. And so Ashley like gutter snipe friends. We clearly know there's a fight coming soon. So
birds of a feather.
Yeah. Dirty feet.
Dirty feet.
All right. Well, that was the episode. It looks like next week we hear more about Nneka speaking more on Wendy's family and her mom specifically, because they did ask her in the episode. They asked Wendy, did she know Neka? And then Wendy was like, she's seen her in passing, but she kind of stuttered on the answer. So I'm like, okay, have y'all met before? Do y'all not know each other? I don't know. So it's kind of crazy, because I really would have hoped that she would have came in and been friends with Wendy, but
I was hoping
like Ashley got a hold of her first, and that's just where it's gonna go.
Or Neka came in. She's watched the show because she was a fan, and she kind of already had it in her mindset as to who she was going to come in and who she felt like she wanted to align with and who she felt like she didn't want to really align with. So
and again, if Ashley's bringing them in, you can't expect much from them. So
no matter how many degrees and how many millions or homes that they have. So
that's true. Okay. Well, we have next week's episode. We'll talk about that next week. We have a call in the queue. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure you guys check out all of our shows. We literally have a show every day of the week, minus Friday and Saturday. So today's Potomac, tomorrow's Married to Medicine and Salt Lake City. Oh, that's crazy, right? Wednesday is for Beverly Hills. Thursday is Miami, and then our episodes for Bell Collective air on Monday. So hopefully, if you guys didn't check it out, we aired Bell Collective. They came back from their mid-season premiere this past Friday. So
such a good show. Good show.
Definitely a good show. Check it out. It's hosted by Chase. I think Shante, Asia, Danny, and Sammy are a part of that panel. So great panel, great discussion. Check it out. All right, so our caller for today is going to be Tawana. Hey Tawana, how are you?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Happy Monday. How you been?
I've been fine. How is it going with you guys?
Good.
Good.
No complaints.
Okay. So, I think I did like this episode. I really did like it.
You said you did
I
like it?
Yes, I did. Um, I'm kind of over Robyn and Juan. I think Robyn should have been fired, honestly, or could have been made a friend of. Like Bravo gave her another chance, and I feel like she's still not being 100% honest about the situation. And I don't like all these passes that Bravo is giving her because they haven't given passes to, like, Charisse. I feel like they didn't give Charisse a pass when she was the main housewife and she didn't talk about her marriage. They kind of made her a friend of, and then she went away and now she's back. So I don't understand why Robyn's getting all these passes. I think Mia's a dummy. And I think Mia just wants to be friends with Robyn, Giselle, and Ashley. And she lets them get away with, the things that they say about her. Because, I think it was season 6. Ashley asked her husband if he had dementia. Like, I feel like they've crossed the line with Mia multiple times. And she's given them all these passes that she hasn't given, like, Karen or Wendy. What else do I want to say? I agree with Candiace about the whole Drew situation, because Drew, first off, she doesn't even have enough music to be an opener for anybody. She's got like 2 songs, and then when she performed with Candiace in LA, all she got on stage and said was la 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 la. Like, she don't need to be opening for nobody. And that performance that she did at the Atlanta Housewives reunion was a hot mess. I'm not about to pay this girl to get on stage and do her 2 songs, and it's probably gonna be a mess. So I do agree with Candiace there. Ashley is messy. I knew she was gonna be messy when she rolled up with the corona. And I just hope that Wendy don't fall into the trap of like trusting Ashley, because she can't be trusted. But that's pretty much it.
And you said
I
you
don't
liked
really.
this episode?
I did. Why? Did it just seem like I didn't like it?
It just, I know I didn't like it. It was kind of meh. I don't know. It's early. I don't know. This season is. I mean, I know it has a build up, but I just feel like the beginning of the season should be a little more explosive. And they're not giving us that right now. The build ups are great, but a nice
medicine coming from episode 1, baby.
Right, Married to Medicine and Beverly Hills and Miami and Salt Lake City. All those shows.
But the thing with Potomac is that it's not giving us the bang that it could give because the cast is so divided.
Yes.
Married to Medicine, we got the whole cast in the first episode besides Quad. This season is going to take time to build up because the cast is so divided. So they need to put the pieces all in place for everyone to come together.
Or keep them apart, because that's what's happening in this case.
Yeah. And I want to say one more thing about Dr. Wendy and her talk show. I know people said that Dr. Wendy got a new business every season, but I'd rather her use this platform to start something than to not do nothing.
I want her to do
because
something.
Look at her castmates. Like, Giselle really ain't had nothing going on since the little makeup line and her podcast, but they don't really promote their podcast on the show like they could. They don't really talk about the podcast on the show at all. So I'd rather Wendy do the most than not do nothing.
And they had a tape, and they did a launch in Giselle's Drive where they had a live taping of the show and everything.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, I guess I sometimes forget they have a podcast until they say something stupid and it makes the news.
You forget about Reasonably Shady?
Yeah, I be forgetting they got it until they say something dumb.
Well, I don't tune into it. I don't want to hear anything they got to say.
I'm not paying for that.
On that podcast, they need to be talking about everything that Juan has done. That'll be a whole season. Let's talk about that.
One more question. Okay. Let me get. I'm gonna get off the phone
Go ahead.
before
I
because I
have
know
a
y'all
call
probably
for
got
you,
more
Tawana.
callers, but I wanted to say something.
Tawana,
Huh?
Tawana, I have another call in the car. I gotta let them know. Okay.
Okay,
bye.
Say that.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat or call in tomorrow. I'm sorry. All right. Our last caller for today is going to be. Hey, Cassie, how are you?
Cassie.
I just wanted to get on and say hi, guys.
It's been a while. How you been?
I know I miss you guys' faces. Well, as you can hear, yeah, I'm getting sick. Yeah, it's my son. He gave it to me. But yeah, no, I just wanted to come in real quick and just say, I don't know about this Nneka. And I feel like Ashley probably instigated this. And like you said, because Wendy's probably going to come in as a defense, like in defense, and kind of say something. So then it won't allow them to really talk and see that Ashley's the one who spit it. But I just didn't like how, from the previews, right? How Nneka's taking it down to the gutter, talking about voodoo or whatever spell. I'm like, come on now. Like, this is, I mean, I'm Haitian, but still, we all derive from Africa. Like, just to put that out there, like, you got people watching the show of every different ethnicity. They already think bad about, the African, Haitian, Caribbean culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why would you do something like that? And for Nneka, beautiful, because she is beautiful to me, to even bring it there. But then I kind of see that she's picking a side. And she's picking the green-eyed bandits, and that's why I don't like her.
I'm with you.
We gonna see, but I don't like her. And then really quick, Juan. I am so embarrassed for Robyn. I wanna feel bad. I really do, but I'm just like more embarrassed because like, girl, you are on national TV looking like Boo Boo the Fool, and you keep saying you don't care, and clearly you do care. That's why we're gonna see in scenes, her crying and stuff. But just Juan, I do believe he probably in the laundromat, allegedly, and doing his thing, because the way he just came out and was just like, I don't care, that's where I was embarrassed. Because I'm like, girl, like, you need to pull him aside and say, listen, we're on camera. You're not going to embarrass me. You got to like show like you little bit, the way that you showed love for the boys. I love my boys. I love my boys. Give me a little bit of that. But anyways, that's all I have. I don't know. I still love Candy. I'm always going to be rooting for Candy, but I'm a little nervous about her relationship with Chris. It doesn't look like from that scene that we saw last week. I don't know. She was looking at him like, I feel like he needs to step up because she's moving on up and he's just, I don't know what he's doing. But I want them to win because, they got too many haters wanting their downfall. But anyways, that's it. I just wanted to see you guys. I think you're so sexy.
I know. It's been a while. And you look great. Like your lighting is you're in the closet.
Yes. Like Mary Cosby.
I know. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Not Mary. Oh my God, Mary crazy.
Cassie said not Mary.
Not
Mary, child. All right, Cassie. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you for calling in. I don't know who this person that joined the queue. I don't even know what this means, but we're gonna get rid of the link now. I'm gonna see what this is though, because I don't know. It says, who is this?
Who the
Lord,
Giselle thinks she is.
Bye, Jasmine.
No, let me say this. Let me just say this. Yeah, good show. I just want to throw this out here. Like, Giselle is such a big bully. Like, just how she was just talking, just how she was just like, even when they were talking about Candiace, she was like, who cares? Okay, I don't care. Like, she just throwing at her stuff. I can't stand her. The new Nneka. I don't know.
Nneka. Not Nneka, child.
Not today.
I had said earlier, Jasmine, I was gonna call her Nneka. So.
Now I'm gonna say not today, Nick.
Yes,
it's Nneka.
Okay. Nneka. Okay. And Negress. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Oh
at the
Lord.
end of the day, I cannot stand, and we talk about this a lot in Atlanta. I cannot stand when newbies come in with that air about themselves. They already know who they already can't stand and things like that. Which, I get to a certain extent, but just like Asia said in the comments, we gotta stop hiring fans because they come in weird as not just playing. But listen, great show, great show. Ashley looks like a capital T, broad shouldered, and what else? She's a
Who do you think
mess.
look good at the housewarming?
I thought Wendy looked really good. I always think not Candice, but Karen comes in looking fresh. I love lilac. And I thought that Nneka, she also look good as well. I think she's a beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying, for my dark skinned girls out here. But at the same breath, like I just don't appreciate Ashley. We're talking about husbands and stuff that's already out of line, but we're going into people's religion, their background, their culture, their
Yeah.
heritage. That's when I draw the line. Y'all know I'm Caribbean, and I just like Cassie was just on here speaking on that. All that stuff I agree with, and I don't appreciate that. When we go further into the season, we're
Yeah.
talking about people worshiping everything but God, and we ain't like that's inappropriate. So, but that's all I want to say. Ashley's titties look cheap. Have a good night.
Bye, Jasmine.
Bye, Jazz.
All right, y'all. That was thank you, Jazz, Cassie, and Tawana for calling in today. It was a great show. We're gonna go ahead and lean out. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and make sure y'all check out Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tomorrow. Married to Medicine comes on at 8 p.m. Eastern, and at 9:20 p.m. Eastern, Salt Lake City will go live. So it's basically back to back. So if you watch it tomorrow, we got you for almost 2.5, 3 hours. So come join us, come lean in with us, and check out our other shows as well. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Antonio. Thank y'all for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow, maybe. All right, y'all. Peace.